Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of re437, where I take old stories I've narrated and update them to modern audio standards. This particular story is called You Find an Antique Gold Compass with the words Moral Compass. It will automatically point to the most morally good person within a 100-meter radius. You are on a jury one day, and when you take a look at the compass, it points to a convicted serial killer. One hell of a title. Anyways, it was written by Alex Sylvian. Everyone came out of the jury's chamber for the sentencing. Guilty, of course. We didn't have much of a choice. The evidence mounting against him was overwhelming. I was actually annoyed that I had to take off time today to be a jury for such a simple case. Jay Kleiner was a murderer of the lowest order, a murderer of children, of policemen, and of doctors. The golden trifecta. I was disgusted just watching him, seeing so smug and cheerful. So why was my compass saying that he was the most decent human being in the room? The compass had been a gift from my grandmother. She had given it to me just before she was executed. She had said, Isaac, this compass shows who is the best person around you. Always make sure to only associate with those people. That hadn't been hard, since it had almost always pointed at me. Occasionally it moved, and I would try to find out who it was. But in recent years, it had only pointed at me. I don't know if that made me feel good or nervous. And now it was pointing at a murderer. Why? Was it broken? The judge passed down the verdict. For these crimes, you are sentenced to death by lethal injection. The sentence is to be carried out immediately. May God have mercy on your soul. Kleiner didn't flinch. He had to have known that this was coming. He was guilty. They were all guilty. He just smirked and said, My soul doesn't need any mercy. A hooded man entered with a needle, but first, the forgiver came forward, as per Protocol 6. He placed a camera in front of Kleiner and said it loudly, Do you, J. Kleiner, regret your crime? No. Then you are... What? Someone behind me gasped. If you didn't play this part right, then they would take it out on your family. But he just kept right on talking to the crowd. Maybe he just didn't care anymore. He didn't bother talking to the camera. Everyone knew the footage would later be edited for the good of the people. He spoke to us. My compass went wild. I've not committed a crime. I have nothing to apologize for. Those people had it coming. Would have been nice if you allowed me to defend myself before I was pronounced guilty, though. A hushed whisper started spreading through the courtroom. The judge shouted, Silence, Mr. Kleiner. His grin wouldn't let up. Or what? You'll hold me in contempt, but I'm not going to apologize for destroying your sick euthanization den and slaughtering your mad scientists. How long did you think people would stand idly by? Forever? Not gonna happen. Pandemonium erupted. The judge pounded his gavel to no avail, then shouted, Carry out the execution, now! He seemed panicked. He probably was. Even a judge could wake up one night with a knock on the door and never been seen again. Kleiner was grabbed by two burly soldiers. He didn't resist. He just kept talking, raising his voice to shout, to be heard above the hubbub. I did not kill those children. I weep for the ones I wasn't able to save. I weep because you killed them, but most of them got away. They with my people right now, and you'll never find them, not until the fall of this tyrannical empire. Down with the Gravian Empire! Up with the revolution! The cry died on his lips. The executioner had just injected him. 500 milligrams of hydrogen cyanide was already coursing through his body. But somehow he found the strength to utter one last sentence. Someone will always do the right thing. No more. He was silent. The compass slowly turned back around to point at me, and I finally knew what that meant. I joined the revolution the very next day. End of story. I'd greatly like to thank our Tier 5 channel members, Casper Arnholt, John Creighton, Manatharia, 050, Dragzoon WRE, and Elijah Silvercross. Thank you very much.